Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Mag in Warframe in 2019. Now, a lot of players think that Mag is some kind of joke, she is some kind of meme, but she's actually a pretty good Warframe, implying you know how to play her. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a run through of all of her abilities. That's not to say that you should definitely 110% pick her up if you are a newer player. You definitely need to have, you know, a lot of good ranked up mods for Mag to be a good frame. But once you get all these good mods, then she is a really, really fun frame to play, right? So the first ability that is fun at pretty much any level is her pull ability, right? That's her first ability where you just make enemies ragdoll. It's fucking hilarious. Like that, there's no other way to put it. It's a really just fun ability to mess around with because you can spam it, right? All it does is make the enemy ragdoll. That's pretty much it. It deals a small amount of damage. At lower levels, it can kill. It's cool. Second ability, this is your magnetized ability, and this is Mag's strongest ability. This is kind of like a CC damaging ability. It lasts for a certain amount of time based on your power duration, and whenever the power duration runs out, if you kill the enemy that you initially targeted with it, it's going to do like a mini explosion and damage enemies around. The third ability, this is going to strip away enemy armor and enemy shields and leave little shards, which is going to increase the damage of your second ability, so just pay attention. Here we go. And you can see that these little shards fell out of the enemies, and they're going to have their armor reduced by a little tiny bit, right? So if we kept on spamming the third ability, you can see that they're getting damage dealt to them, and it keeps on going up and up and up, and then eventually they have their armor completely stripped away, making them an easier target to kill. This ability expands over time based on your power range and all that stuff, or maybe it's power duration, I don't know. But you kind of want to have a decent balance of both power range and power duration because, you know, these two abilities, your free and your two, are going to interact with one another to make a pretty devastating combo. The fourth ability is your crush ability, and this is another CC damage dealing ability, which is going to pick enemies up, and it's going to deal damage to those enemies, and it's also going to give you more shields. So up in the top right hand corner, my shields went from, I think, being around 400 up to 1,650. Cool, right? And that is basically Mag's kit summed up. Now, what I want you guys to pay attention to is the interaction between the 3 and the 2, and also the types of weapons that I'm using when I'm using those two abilities, because the weapon that you're using matters a lot. There's going to be different builds out there that you can use for Mag, and the build that you use is going to determine how effective this combo is going to be, right? So these are level 110 enemies, and these are the highest level of enemies that you're going to come up against while just doing your daily content, your sorties, and all that cool stuff. So level 110 is pretty much the highest. If you're seeing enemy levels over that, then you're playing like an endurance run or something. And yeah, enemies are going to be insane levels there, and you can still do this combo versus those insane level enemies. But you want to pick up a weapon that has some form of punch through, and what you're going to see happen here is some insane damage being dealt to all of these guys with just a few shots, right? So we're going to go ahead and strip away the armor, cast our third ability once, and then we're going to cast our second ability on this target right here. We're going to completely scope in with our Lanka, and we're going to shoot once, and all the enemies are going to die. Mag sucks, by the way. Absolutely crazy ability, or set of abilities. You can take it a step further, and you can use like gas procs and stuff like that to have damage over time applied, but mainly you want to have punch through thrown on there. I like using snipers because you get all the cool scope bonuses and you get the high damage and whatnot. Let me see if I actually have a gas build on my Lanka, because I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, okay, so let's test out this build. This has got Prime Being of Corrupted on here, so this is going to do the big cool triple dip-in thing. And it's going to increase the damage off our gas procs, which are going to deal a shit ton of damage in these little magnetized bubbles. So we press our 3, we press our 2, we completely scope in, let them grip up, let go, and they die even faster because of that gas proc right there. So it's crazy. And you kill these guys even faster whenever you strip away all of their armor. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to strip away all of their armor. And then we're going to do our combo again. So check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 casts if are free. We cast our 2 once after being fully scoped in. Let them grip up. Didn't work that time. A little bit weird. Sometimes just a little bit inconsistent. We can go ahead and we can try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and stand back. Fully scoped in. Let them grip up. There we go. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter how fast they die, because they die extremely fast anyway. I'm sorry. My voice messed up a little bit there. They die extremely fast anyway, and they can't shoot out of that little bubble either. So, you know, if they're in the magnetized bubble, any fire is going to, like, go directly to the enemy that you have magnetized, right? So even enemy fire. Friendly fire, enemy fire is going to go to the center of the casting point of that magnetized bubble, and they are going to die. So, yeah, that is pretty much that. Crazy cool. So this is the build that I'm running on this particular mag. I've got a decent bit of range, decent bit of strength, decent bit of efficiency. I'm actually at the cap. We've got a tiny little bit of duration, and the reason that we don't have a lot of duration on there is because the longer or the more duration you have on, then the longer it's going to take for your magnetized bubble to explode, right? And that's not really what you want. You want it to be exploding a lot, so then you're dealing more damage to surrounding enemies. So that's why the duration is a little bit lower. This is an Umbral setup, so you can do something different with a regular setup. But on here we have Umbral Vitality plus Umbral Intensify. These increase the effectiveness of one another, so we get more health and more strength just because we have both of these on. We got Streamline and Fleeting. Fleeting is going to decrease the duration, and that's what I wanted with this build. Transient Fortitude is also going to do that. Will give me more power strength. We got Stretch on here for a little bit of range. Prank Continuity to counteract the negative duration that we have, to make it kind of balance out a little bit, because we don't want to have too low of a duration, because keep in mind we have other abilities that take from our duration as well. We got Prime Flow on here for more energy. You don't necessarily need this. You can swap it for something different. Totally up to you. Power Drift on here for a little bit more strength, and then we have Cruise Projection on here to take away enemy armor, so we can just deal more overall damage, and that is basically that. Now let's go ahead and check my other mag, because, you know, I have other mag setups. This is a very, very ugly mag. So yeah, this one has lower duration, lower strength, and more range, so the explosions are a lot bigger, right? If you get what I mean. So let's go ahead and do it. It's more or less the same effect, right? It's going to take more casts of our free to completely strip away the armor, but that doesn't necessarily matter. So we cast our free, get the little shards, okay. We cast our 2, fully scope in, we shoot, and we see this big bubble, and it's going to explode. So by the time that you kill all the enemies inside it, your bubble's going to do the little explosion. Now, the explosion damage from the bubble isn't insane, so, you know, you don't really want to pay too much attention to it. It's mainly just gripping all the enemies up and then killing them that way that you want to pay attention to. Keep in mind, you have to be using Punch Through to get that same effect. I recommend the Lanka because it's the one that's, you know, most consistent damage with, but this is the build that doesn't have any Umbral mods on it that I've been using. I used that very, very long ago. This one, wouldn't recommend that one. That one's okay as well. This is a pretty decent build. This is just basically the exact same build without the Umbral mods, so there's that if you want to use this as well. But other than that, that is pretty much Mag in a nutshell. I definitely prefer my other Mag because she looks way cooler. That's Mag Prime. So dope. You can do it with the Mara Detron as well. I don't know if my build is exactly perfect, but I can go ahead and show it off anyway. Let's see. So this is the same thing with the Mara Detron. Cast R3, cast R2, let them grip up, and then you just let it rip. You can see that we deal some pretty crazy damage over time because they're all gripped up. We have the Punch Tree on there as well, so Punch Tree is definitely a must-have whenever you're doing this type of thing with mag, but it's crazy. I love it. It takes a frame that everybody hates and just makes her do something phenomenal. I always enjoyed, like, whenever I was streaming, you know, somebody would come into my chat and say, why would you ever play mag? Mag sucks. And then I showed them this and they're like, wow. Like, they're just completely speechless, you know, on how mag was able to completely destroy a group of enemies. And before anybody says it, like, they're paused. You're getting a stealth bonus. No, that doesn't work on shooting. That only works in melee. I feel like I have to say that in every single video that I do in the simulacrum. But, yeah, that's mag. She's great. She's fun. Pick her up. Check her out. She's cool. If you liked the video, hit that like button below. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.